is this one slightly inconvenient factor with this practice that is the other side of part of its uniqueness. And that is it requires, another person to do it. I mean, I really loved doing Trespasso with Catherine and Kamala, but it could be a little inconvenient to have to kind of cart them around to have this practice, So the next two songs, the next two practices in the music of what happens are going to be gazing practices that don't require an embodied partner, okay? This is a photograph of a famous sculpture from the 8th century, and this sculpture is of Padmasambhava, who is the man credited with bringing Buddhism from India to Tibet. He's considered a living Buddha. He's called Guru Rinpoche, greatly revered in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition. And when he himself first saw this sculpture, his famous comment was, "Looks like me." And that's how it developed its name. And then he did an interesting thing, and then he blessed it, saying, "Now it is the same as me." And so people, ever since, people for a long time have made use of this sculpture, and then later the images of it, as if they were, in the presence of Padmasambhava, as if they were kind of having a kind of darshan with him. And if you look at it, the eyes in particular have this rather amazing quality that simultaneously seem to reflect the awakened mind of Padmasambhava, but also seem to give a true reflection of the beholder. It's as if, Padmasambhava is in his own essential nature, and somehow he's reflecting and seeing your essential nature, reflecting that. He gives good eye. So what I'd like you to do now is to put the image at sort of eye level and do the same kind of practice with Padmasambhava that you were just doing with your partner. Gazing into the left eye and letting go of any ways that you've objectified yourself. Any way you may objectify the image of Padmasambhava. And increasingly allow just that eye to be your only frame of reference. Again, allow for any kind of melting, any kind of dissolution of your encasement, of your structure. And now I'd like to kind of open the laboratory for data. I'd like you to just sort of speak of any perceptions or any experiences that you're having or noting. How is this similar? How does it feel in some ways different than doing it with a living, breathing partner in the room?
I don't know if this is trivial, but if you hold it a certain way, you can line up the eye with your own reflection of your own eye. And that's kind of
that's kind of interesting.
Interesting.
Kind of trippy.
It's as if you're looking through his eyes.
Yeah. Or as if, for me, as if it's simultaneously Padmasambhava, as if he and me are simultaneously looking through the same eye.
Yeah. So you see your own eye reflected back through his. And it's interesting.
Yeah, interesting. It's a little bit that could lead to slight disorientation. That reminds me of that famous saying by Chuang-Tzu, where he said, I don't know whether I'm Chuang-Tzu dreaming of a butterfly or whether I'm a butterfly dreaming that I'm Chuang-Tzu. Do you find it a little bit harder to concentrate when you're working with the image of Padmasambhava than with another partner? Is your vision a little bit less steady? Your shamatha a little bit more unstable, do you find?
Yeah, I think there's a little more work involved.
Uh-huh.
Although for me, that's because my, with my eye, faces instantly depart. It's easier to let go of to let the disillusionment happen with Padmasambhava than the person. With the person, I feel like I have to keep the image in one instead of allowing it to go into two.
Uh-huh. You feel more responsibility in a way toward the person?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I've asked people in the past, like, why this practice seems to be oftentimes easier for them to have some kind of shift from having done than just meditating on their own. That's one of the things people have said, Ron, is that they feel like an increased sense of responsibility to stay present when they're doing it with a partner, whereas if they're just meditating on their own, so there's something about the other's gaze that kind of helps keep you there, staying present. Sometimes when I do it, when I gaze at this image, I feel very devotional, and I feel extreme kind of gratitude toward Padmasambhava.